exceedingly wealthy men whom I have carefully analyzed over a long period of years. Now, keep in mind, this is Napoleon Hill speaking. He worked with Dale Carnegie, one of the billionaires of the old days. Millionaire, but billionaire to our standards. And he's speaking through his experience with dealing with these people. If you're wanting to get this book, which I recommend, a lot of people in business own this book or have read this book. Mine's a little dusty for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a great book. I like having it in my hands. A lot of people will read something on screen. For some reason, it's just not the same for me. I like to have something in my hand that I know how far I've gotten through it by looking at it. And I like reading it at night. And one thing that you can do to solidify things that you learn in your brain, in your memory, is to read them at night before sleep. Now, you might forget them in your conscious mind, but in your subconscious mind, you might remember them more, and they'll come out in your daily life. So there's kind of a give and take of reading stuff while you're sleepy. But The Secret was brought to my attention by Andrew Carnegie. More than a quarter of a century ago, the canny, lovable old Scotsman carelessly tossed it into my mind when I was but a boy. Then he sat back in his chair with a merry twinkle in his eye and watched carefully to see if I had brains enough to understand the full significance of what he had said to me. When he saw that I had grasped the idea, he asked if I would be willing to spend 20 years or more preparing myself to take it to the world, to men and women who, without the secret, might go through life as failures. I said I would. And with Mr. Carnegie's cooperation, I have kept my promise. This book contains the secret. After many have been put to a practical test by thousands of people in almost every walk of life, it was Mr. Carnegie's idea that the magic formula which gave him a stupendous fortune ought to be placed within reach of people who do not have time to investigate how men make money. And it was his hope that I might test and demonstrate the soundness of the formula through the experience of men and women in every calling. Now, right here, Napoleon Hill mentions magic. And a lot of you might be thinking that it's not. He's saying it facetiously. He's saying it as a descriptor or in hyperbolism. But in reality, what he's actually doing is magic. In this book, he teaches not only, but he teaches how to think and grow rich, how to put an intention out there, how to visualize something. And if you look at magic, that's exactly what magic does. Magic, in terms of like the occult type stuff, is all about intention. It's about having an idea in your mind and bringing it forth in reality through your intention. It's the exact same thing. It's magic. So when he says, what is the magic formula? He means it. A lot of people don't realize that. But if you look at any kind of magical grimoire, that's what they're talking about. Spells and incantations and symbols, like sigils, all that stuff is just a means to an end. The point is that when you do a spell or something like that, you're actually just accomplishing an intention that you're putting out into the world. Like you're focusing, you have a belief, you have an intention, you have emotion. All that stuff creates magic. And that's exactly what he's teaching in this book, is how to do that. And if you haven't read it, you should, but focus on it in that aspect. And I know a lot of people think that magic's stupid. It's crazy. It's not real. But think of it like this. Think of it in terms of quantum manipulation. Because I'm a science guy. I don't like people just telling me, yeah, it's just magic. Just believe, bro. No, like I'm a science guy, and I want to learn more about why this works through science. And there is a book called Real Magic by Dr. Dean Radin. And in this book, he talks about how experiments are proving things in ESP extrasensory perception, magic,